Staying on Target is the final segment of our show, and we're having a lot of fun with Staying on Target now. The recently reformatted segment, Staying on Target, where we take a common theme, a topic, a controversy of the Star Wars galaxy, and we battle it out. This week, the best prequel-era blaster. We are pretty excited. Jesse's the most excited. His seat is damp right now. But we are going to do this in a similar fashion to last week. So Staying on Target, what will happen is we will first tell you the three blasters that we are arguing for. So we each have our own blaster. We'll then start, since David, you went first last time, and I went second. However, in the comments, I was deemed your winner of Staying on Target last week. I'm pretty proud of that. I thought I fought very valiantly with my BX Commando droid.
Thanks, guys.
There were some people that really, John Bothman, who's a proud Patreon supporter and lover of our show. God bless John. You know why, Jesse? Because he comes on there and he goes, you know what? If you're talking about who argued better, David Amlati argued better. So I got his vote, and he was the tiebreaker. So it was pretty awesome. Made me feel really good.
Let's see if I can't dethrone you this week.
Well, hey, best of luck. So let's go. Jesse, myself, David first. Real quick, what blaster are you going to be touting?
The awesome DC-17 blaster pistol.
And where would we most likely have seen this?
You would have seen this in the hands of Captain Rex and various clone commandos throughout the Clone Wars.
Okay, I'm doing the Z6 rotary blaster cannon mode. I think it was first seen... I believe it was first seen in the Micro series in 2003. You saw it a lot in the Clone Wars, and you also see it in Star Wars Rebels. So it stands the test of time. I'll argue later. It'll be fine. David, which blaster?
A Wester 34 blaster pistol that Jango Fett wielded.
Okay, so this is okay. And what I love about the blaster, I'm not showing favoritism here, but I love the sound of the blaster.
Yeah.
The sound of like a lot of weapons in the prequels overall were really stellar. Like those sonic bombs that Jango would drop in the asteroid field. God, that was awesome. Okay, so how this is going to go is I'm going to put a timer on the clock. So you can go no longer than 2 minutes, okay? But if you need all that time, go ahead. If you don't need all that time, then stop talking because there's no point if you don't need it, okay? So, all right, here we go. We're going to do this. And are you ready, Jesse?
I'm ready.
David Gilbert, are you ready?
I am.
David, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready, David. Thank you much. David, you were so polite. Okay, it's 3, 2, 1.
My turn here? We're going with me first?
The countdown would suggest that you're going first.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I chose the DC-17, and the reason I chose it is because it's the standard blaster of the Grand Army of the Galactic Republic, so a little bit of history going on there. Nicknamed the Commando Pistol, it was commonly used by ARC troopers and almost exclusively used by Captain Rex, dual-wielding, by the way, which he used throughout the Clone Wars and into the Galactic Civil War. Cool points about the blaster is that the blaster was ionized, so its blaster bolts were ionized, granting improved damage against droid targets while maintaining lethality against organic targets. And also had an exceptional fire rate and firepower. So like this was a very fantastic blaster pistol to carry.
30 seconds.
And yeah, I mean, compared to any other blaster that you see in the prequels. I mean, this is military grade. This was designed for combat.
I guess okay, are you done?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, great. Okay, awesome. So he did. So now we put 2 minutes on the clock where David and I can retort what he just argued. Okay? So I'm going to start this right now. Now, here's my question. You're talking about a pistol, not a blaster. So right there, you just lost this argument because you didn't even follow
it's a blaster
the
pistol.
damn directions. But the point being here is, if it's in close proximity, sure, that's effective, but you're not able to pick anyone off from any great distance away. I feel like those pistols are like a last resort, right?
I don't know. Captain Rex effectively used them throughout the Clone Wars.
If you're on the Battle of Geonosis on the front lines and you're faced with, like, all those droids, are you going to go to your pistol? You might as well just shoot yourself at that point because you're going to die. There's no point.
Not necessarily. It all depends on the situation. I'm not saying that it was the best like blaster in every situation, but in terms of overall, I kind of feel like it had a lot of versatility and everything depending on the scenario and the combat situation.
Personally, I don't get excited for a mass-produced weapon. I mean, to me, that just screams opportunity for things to get screwed up on it. So
ask GM.
Ask Captain Rex, though. Ask Captain. I mean, this is a weapon that he used routinely through all sorts of different engagements.
God, that action figure, that Black Series action figure, I'll tell you that is a
sharp
figure.
one.
It's a sharp one.
David, I'm gonna let you go next. Are you ready?
Yeah, I can be.
All right, are we done attacking our friend Jesse?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
With love.
Yeah, that was with love. Your 2 minutes begin now.
Cool. So I chose the Western 34 Blaster Pistol. This is exciting for me, and I'm sure was for you, Jesse, because I was really worried you were going to pick this one, since Django Fett typically carries it. These he carried 2 of them. These were custom made just for him. Pretty awesome. They're light. They're efficient. They're ready at a moment's notice. They're not big and bulky like your blaster, the one you're going to talk about, David. So you got a faster draw, which is pretty good.
Girth.
They're made with a DeLorean alloy, which means that they can get super hot, which means they can fire at a quicker rate, and, your thing will melt pretty quick, where mine will stick around for a while. But you might get a few more shots out of it, but I don't need the extra shots. So you get high precision. I mean, if you look in the movies, this thing has killed a Jedi, a dinosaur-looking Jedi that we don't know a name to. It's killed the Reek at the execution arena. Is that what they call it these days? That's the big rhino-looking thing with, like, the one broken horn. So, I mean, this thing's a known killer right here. You're starting to crack and get ready there. So, best blaster, without a doubt. Right here.
Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna start this, and before I mention this table is not like nailed to the floor. So if you come across it, you're gonna owe me money, and you'll probably be removed from the show. So just be careful. All right, 2 minutes are up. Go ahead.
Okay, first and foremost, the DC-17 in comparison would have been on par, if anything, with the firepower and the ability to sustain fire. This is a weapon that was used on Umbara, which, if you watch the Clone Wars series, there were some intense engagements there. That is an example there. So in terms of overheating and falling apart, not going to happen. They're comparable. The DC-17 was considered to be a high firepower blaster pistol, okay, with a high rate of fire. That's why Captain Rex used it, okay? Not saying that the Westar 34 is a bad pistol, but again, it's a customized pistol, so not everybody's going to have access to it. Yeah, it's great. It sounds great.
See the joy in his face talking about
Prequel. Yeah, I know. I love
his seat is so wet right now.
I hate to say it, as much as I love Django, I think the DC-17 would actually win in a fight.
My only thing about the blaster that you picked, and I think it kind of goes back to yours too, is you both are picking guns that I think are very good by and of themselves, but it all comes down to the user who's accurate enough. Like Django is like super accurate with his blaster pistols, but is the next guy? Probably not. And limited I don't know. You're not able to shoot a whole lot. It's great if you're a bounty hunter. It's for the specified individual, and it's not really great for the casual user. Our Second Amendment users. They wouldn't want this gun.
Wow, we got political.
Yeah, okay. I'm just full of it tonight. Are we done? We have 20 seconds left. Do you want to berate David anymore? No,
I'm good. Good? I think he's sore enough.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick in. So I'm doing. You guys are knuckleheads. The Z6 rotary blaster cannon first debuted, I believe, in the Micro series in 2003 with the ARC Trooper on Hypori, which was the series in general is just so great, but it's the one with the 6 barrels. It can shoot as many as 166 shots in less than a second. I will tell you that the one downgrade with this blaster is that after 200 shots, it has to be manually reloaded, which all clone trooper blasters had to get, at some point during the blast. So bear with me there. I will tell you, though, if you are defending your base, and this is an example like Christophus, for example, a power generator could be hooked up to the gun. It would limit your mobility, but you could fire for longer. Great for defense. It's a gun that you're going to see continuously used throughout the Clone Wars, the 6th season Clone Wars. I mentioned Christophus. Umbrian is one that you mentioned. Umbara. You see it there, used quite prominently. It's great for when you are facing mass loads of droids. This thing can clear the lines. I go back to it. I liked the original Clone Wars cartoon movie that came out in theaters, and the Battle Christophus, you're seeing guys just rattle down these droids, and then you go back to the first season of the Clone Wars, and you're seeing these the clones just clearing out bridges and pathways with this gun. Heavy duty, very useful. I'm a fan, and I don't know how you can really argue against this gun. I mentioned that, sometimes it could limit your mobility if you're hooked up to that power generator, but listen, if you're hooked up and you're blowing away 166 shots in a second, I think you're going to have time to reload. You're going to clear what's in front of you in plenty of time. I also want to shout out the fact that we saw it in Star Wars Rebels, and that to me tells you that the quality of this gun can last at least 5 decades, because you're seeing it displayed there in the Rebels, and I'm up. Oh, man, I'm out of time. But like I was saying, my last point, oh my gosh, the phone still goes on. But like I was saying, the point is the quality of the gun can last a long time, still function, and be effective. So now that my phone has stopped with the alarm, that was obnoxious. I'll go ahead and start the 2-minute timer for you guys to berate me. Are you guys ready?
Well, I thought the prompt was just for like a blaster. I didn't know I could choose a cannon chain gun as one of my options.
It is called the Z6 Rotary Blaster Cannon, a heavy weapon that fired a massive spray of blaster bolts, according to Wikipedia.
And Wikipedia calls it a blaster cannon chain gun, developed to immerse sun.
Yeah, thank you for continuing to prove my point. Are you going to use the time to disprove me or what?
Cannon chain gun.
It calls it a blaster cannon chain gun. Blaster's in the word. You notice how pistol's not in mine, but it is yours? Come on, bro. Anybody? Okay, here we go.
Unwieldy. Heavy.
Already mentioned that and disproved it.
Exposes you to fire in order to use it. Think about this.
Okay, that's the one knock against it.
Okay. I will agree that, yes, could survive the time. I mean, honestly, all 3 of these blasters, we know that Boba carried the West Star 34s for some period of time after his father's death. And we know that Rex carried the DC-17s into his career. So, yeah, I mean, those are all perks for all the blasters.
Well, the C6
But I'm
was
really
shinier.
thinking that you're overcompensating by choosing this one.
What do you mean I'm overcompensating? Why had to bring my manhood in all this? We kept it PG the entire time.
Apparently, you'd be a little inaccurate if you needed that many shots.
It's not about being inaccurate. You're such a clown. It's not about being inaccurate. It's the fact that you're facing like hundreds of battle droids at any given time, and you can just mow them down. Think about it. I mean, if you're thinking about the Battle of Geonosis and you come down into that arena, and you don't just have a regular rifle, but you have one of these blaster cannons, that's going to clear a perimeter so that you can get your Jedi on board and get the F out of there.
Again, situation-wise, yeah.
You have a minute left.
Like on the battle station where, what is that? It's season 6 where the clone's biochip kind of malfunctions and everything. Very close quarters combat. I don't think the Z6 rotary blaster cannon would have been that good in those tight corridors.
I think it would have been really great, Jesse.
With
because it would have
limited
killed
cover?
that really annoying Kaminoan lady who was messing it all up. Yeah.
We're talking on the battle station, not on Camino. Okay.
Jesse, I'm right. I'm right.
I don't know.
You have 30 seconds. Anything else? No?
Nope.
We're good? Okay, cool. So that's a lot of fun. As you can see that we get into it. I like it. I think it's fun.
I just think it's really interesting that the 3 different blasters we chose really kind of reflected our personality. Mine was small. It was concise. Jesse's was mass-produced but reliable. And yours was like, big, loud, and unnecessarily attention-drawing.
He wouldn't hit the broadside of a
just
bar even with 200
You know
shots.
what? For that observation, make sure
interesting.
that you've hit the subscribe button on this episode because, wow, what a great... That observation brought to you by David Gilbert. That was really great. I don't think there's a clear winner here. I think the fun is letting you decide who won, staying on target. So do you agree with me that the Z6 Rotary Blaster is the best blaster of the prequels? Do you think that the weapon of Jango Fett was the best blaster of the prequel era? Do you think that Commander Rex's
DC-17
were the best blasters of the prequel era? You let us know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You can watch other videos just like this one right now by checking out these videos on your screen. And by the way, thanks for checking out Beyond the Blast Doors.